Hey everyone, my name is Brittany and I'm here in the Heritage Room at Tolosa Winery. And so I'm going to take you through a flow today, and even if you've never practiced yoga before, this is the one for you if you have a glass of wine. So today I'm sipping on Tolosa Rose, and there's not a better time in the world than spring to sip on that. So before we get started, I encourage you to pour yourself a glass of wine. And you can take some sips throughout class. You can wait till the end, pound the whole thing. You do you. So we'll meet standing. So just find a stance with your big toes together, your heels apart. Bring your palms together in front of your chest. Take a moment to close your eyes. Just feel the texture of whatever your feet are on. So whether it's your carpet or maybe your yoga mat. Take a couple of cleansing breaths. So take it slow, nice long breath in through your nose, fill yourself up, feel your heart rise, your belly inflate. And just open your mouth, sigh it out. Once you're empty, take another full breath in. So you take in fresh oxygen. Open your mouth, let go of carbon dioxide. One last time, breathe in. Think about taking in one molecule of air in at a time. Really create some sound here. Open your mouth and just sigh it out. Starting to breathe in and out through your nose. So oftentimes we breathe into our neck, if we're lucky, into our chest. So in yoga, we take deeper, more meaningful breaths, and what this does is soothe your parasympathetic nervous system. And then begin to turn on a little bit of sound. The same muscles that you use to whisper create sound as you drag the air in. Slowly exhale. One last time like that, so breath in. Nice and easy, exhale till you're empty. On your next inhale, open your eyes. Exhale to mountain pose, Tadasana. Take your hands alongside your hips. Starting from the ground up, lift all 10 toes. You'll feel the inner arches of your feet lift. And then start with your pinky toes, set one toe down at a time. So just increasing our awareness, our body awareness. Begin to engage the muscles of your thighs so much that you feel your kneecaps lift up. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Invite a little bit more softness into your shoulders, your jaw, the sides of your neck. Your next inhale, put your arms up overhead, interlace everything but your index finger and thumb. Kiss your palms together. Reach up nice and tall. Pull the tips of your shoulder blades down your back. Engage your belly and just tick-tock side to side. A couple of times. So as we move together, I'll be your mirror, so you'll face the same direction as me. Pause in the center, adjust your grip, get nice and strong in your legs, your core. Take a full breath in. Exhale up and over to the right. Take your left armpit back, press your right armpit forward, find a little bit of depth. On your next inhale, reach back up to center. Use the whole exhale up and over to the left. So all the sitting we do all day. This is an antidote for that. Next inhale, reach up nice and tall. Micro bend your knees a little bit, engage your belly to protect your spine. Begin to lift your gaze up towards your hands. This feels great, you'll stay right here. If you'd like a little bit more, begin to drive your hips forward, reach your thumbs back. On your next inhale, stand back upright. Do that again, exhale up and over to the right. Next inhale, find center, moving slow. We'll get there faster, exhale up and over to the left. Inhale, stand tall, engage your belly. Exhale, look up, back bend. Inhale, standing back upright. Exhale, lower your palms back in front of your chest. Inhale, extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to your chest, hinge from your hips. Begin to lower all the way down. Reach your fingers towards your toes. You can't easily meet the floor. Prop yourself up, pillows or blocks. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Let the weight of your head create space in your upper back, your neck. Shake your head up and down, left and right. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your palms to your shins or underneath your shoulders. Retract your shoulders back. Pull your belly button in. Soften all 10 toes. Take a full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Direct your knees. Reach your arms up overhead. Rotate your pinky fingers in towards one another to create a little softness in your shoulders. So I know we said this was a gentle flow, but a little pro tip, the more you engage the muscles in your body, the more willing they are to stretch. So just feel it. Take a full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands down toward your toes. Do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Taking it from the top, inhale, reach your arms up overhead, intertwine your fingers, exhale, up and over to the right. Find the place you left off. Inhale, back up tall. Exhale, up and over to the left. Feels good to move, yeah? We'll get wine in a second. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, back bend. All the 6 major movements of your spine. Inhale, stand back upright. Exhale, forward fold, and wrap your arms. Take them all the way down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Once your fingertips hit the floor, walk your feet out hip bone distance apart. Once again, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose with your feet wide. Bend your knees, drop your hips down, take your arms up overhead. Lift your heels up nice and tall. Engaging the stabilizer muscles in your ankles, your legs. You can stay right here or begin to lower your palms down more parallel to the floor. Building heat in your legs. Just explore the idea of lowering your hips down. Shakes are good, sensation is good. Use the next inhale to come all the way back to standing on your tippy toes. The stabilizer muscles in your ankles get stronger. Exhale, lower your heels down to the mat. Pigeon toes, so your big toes are together, your heels are apart. This is an overcorrection. So we can engage muscles in our pelvis that might lie dormant. So this helps our posture. Lift your heels really high. Start to lower down. You may pause halfway. Keep squeezing your inner thighs. There's an invitation, lower all the way down. Almost there. Next inhale, all the way up. By there, I mean to the wine. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Lower your heels, spin your toes forward, take your hands alongside you. Take a sip of wine. So this is the 2019 Rosé from Tolosa. I'm finding that I don't even need hot yoga if I have wine. Way more flexible. All right, meet me standing with your hands alongside your hips. Next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Familiarity, inhale, halfway lift. New shape, malasana. Plant your hands, walk your toes out and your heels in. You may pause at this halfway point. There's an invitation, lower your hips down. Keep your fingertips on the floor, take your hands in front of your chest. This is an antidote to low back pain. So let the weight of your hips create space in your low back. If your hands are at your chest, press them together, press your knees wide, lift the inside arches of your feet. One more cycle of breath. If they're not already there, take your fingertips to the floor. Walk your big toes together with your toes facing me. Spin over to your left. Tabletop pose, plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your knees back so your hip bones are over your kneecaps. Inhale into cow pose, drape your belly down, take your chin up. Exhale, cat pose, round your upper back, point your tailbone between your knees. 2 more like that. Inhale, open up your throat. Exhale, round. One last time like you mean it. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to bend, round. Next inhale, neutral tabletop pose. Taking a supported low lunge, step your right foot behind your right wrist. Next inhale, low crescent pose. Take your arms up overhead. If this is plenty of sensation, you'll stay right here, engaging the muscles of your inner thighs. If you'd like a little bit more, walk your right foot forward. begin to bend deep. Breathe into your left hip. If that back bend earlier felt good, start to reach your thumbs back. Shift your gaze way back. Next inhale, come back upright. If you'd like a little bit more heat, tuck your back toes. Inhale, high crescent pose. Lift your back knee up. Start with a bend in your back leg so you can neutralize your pelvis. And if your hips give you an invitation, you can begin to straighten that back leg. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. Take a full inhale. If you're not already there, use your exhale to come back down to your back knee, supported low lunge. Half split, straighten your right leg, flex your toes up toward your face. Start with this one, your hip over your kneecap. Use the inhale to imprint your fingers down, straighten your arms. Use the exhale, lower your chest before your head. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Last time, inhale lifts you up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to your supported low lunge. Stand the ball end of your foot down, keeping your knee over your ankle. Low crescent pose, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, airplane arms. Hinge your torso forward, take your fingers back behind you. Interlace your fingers with your right thumb on top. Create a little space by reaching your wrist back, open up your chest. Rest your right shoulder on your thigh, begin to lift your knuckles up. If you're craving some heat, you can tuck the back toes and lift up. If you're feeling the wine, keep your back knee down. Bend your elbows first, bring your knuckles to your low back. Tabletop pose, take your hands underneath your shoulders. Take your right knee back to meet the left. Second side, step your left knee in. Start with a short stance, find your low crescent pose. If you crave more in the hips, take your foot forward, drive your knee forward, keeping your spine nice and tall or back bend. Inhale to bring your torso back upright. High crescent pose, tuck your back toes, lift up. Just like we did on the other side, start with a bend in your back knee. So your shoulders are directly over your hips, minimizing the overarch of your low back. Take your hands in front of your chest. Lower your right knee down. Stay here on your inhale. Exhale, half split, straighten your leg. We'll take 3 cycles of breath. Inhale, press through your fingers, lift your torso up. Exhale to lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale to lift, so now that we've engaged your hamstring, it's willing to open. Use the exhale to lower. 1 last time. Breathe in, open up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to your supported low lunge. Stamp your foot down. Reach your arms up. Exhale, airplane arms, hinge forward. Lift your pinkies back. Interlace your fingers, this time with the left thumb on top. Reach your knuckles down, straighten your elbows. Begin to rest your shoulder on your thigh to reach your fingertips up. Bend your elbows first. Exhale, supported low lunge. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Tabletop pose. Take your left knee back where it started. Stay here on your inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Start with a generous bend in your knees in your down dog. Spin your biceps up toward your ceiling. Press your chest back toward your thighs. If you're craving a little bit more openness in your legs, begin to straighten your legs a little or a lot. Start to lower your heel bones down towards the mat. Take a full breath in. Exhale till you're completely empty. Engaging your core, walk your hands towards your feet and your feet toward your hands until eventually you meet in this forward fold with your toes behind your wrist creases. Gorilla pose, rock the weight into your heels, slide your hands up underneath your feet. Get your toes as close as you can to your wrist creases. So oftentimes we get here and we're rounding. We spend so much of our day doing that. So start with a generous bend in your knees. Cascade your chest down, let your head once again create space. If your body's craving more sensation, begin to straighten your legs. Squeeze the muscles in your belly to open up your spine. Take 1 more full breath in. Exhale, release your hands out from underneath your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, tuck round and curl. Plant your fingers, come high to your tippy toes. Our body builds this thing, it's called fascia or connective tissue, and every day it builds another layer. So we're breaking up some connective tissue in your feet, just like we did in your wrists, and we'll continue that together. If it feels good in your body, pull your chin toward your chest, take your eyebrows toward your knees. Stimulating your thyroid, your parathyroid, right at the base of your neck. So good for metabolism, your mood. And eventually we'll meet in a seat. So lay your hip bones down, stretch your legs in front of you, grab the back of your thighs. Create a C shape in your torso, rounding your shoulders forward, tuck your chin towards your chest. Slowly lower all the way down to your back. Once the back of your head meets the mat, we'll take what's called eagle pose, reclined eagle pose. Kick your right leg up towards the ceiling. Wrap it around your left thigh, maybe behind your left heel. Reach your arms straight up over your head. Eagle bind your arms. Vine your right arm around the left. Bring your forearms, your palms in towards one another. Try and balance your gaze with your eyes open right between your thumbs. Keeping your spine heavy on the mat, pull your elbows up towards your ceiling. Take the tops of your shoulders, create more distance between your earlobes and your shoulders. And now squeeze your biceps, your forearm, your thighs, so all the major joints in your body getting some nourishment. You'd like a little more stretch, reach your fingertips back, reach your toes forward. And release, we'll switch sides. Unravel everything, take your left leg up and over the right. Tuck your toes behind your heel. Arms straight up overhead. Smooth the creases out of the back of your neck, take a big breath in. Stay with your breath. Eagle bind your arms, left arm underneath the right. Open your eyes, look at your elbows, bring them directly over your shoulders. Try and balance your gaze right between your forearms. And then squeeze everything in. So we change the way the blood flows. If you want more, just like the other side, reach your fingers, your toes, opposite directions. And release. Take a full body stretch. Pull your knees in toward your chest, grab your hamstrings. Who's ready for some wine? Rock and roll forward and back. So we're bringing some blood flow to your spine. And eventually landing upright. Let's get through our balancing series and we'll drink some wine and start to cool down. Meet me standing facing your screen. Just like we did in the very beginning of class, take your hands together in front of your chest. Maybe noticing a shift in your perspective. Just by a little bit of movement, breath, sip of wine. If your eyes are closed, open them. Tree pose. Take your left knee, swing it wide. Stamp the sole of your foot on your ankle. If you're feeling solid in the standing leg, you can add on as long as your foot doesn't connect with your knee joint. So that means your calf or your inner thigh. Take your left knee back. And then find one point to focus on that's not moving. You want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Reach your arms up overhead. So balancing asymmetries in your body by balancing on one leg. So your right leg's getting a lot of strength right here. Exhale to release, hands together in front of your chest. Lower your left leg down. Keep your eyes open. Tree pose, second side. Sole of your foot, ankle, kickstand, calf, not the knee, or inner thigh. So we push too much in our knee joint, it starts to move laterally, and over time it can cause an injury. So either below or above. And then maybe you challenge your balance, take your arms up. One more full breath in. Exhale, release, bring your hands back in front of your chest. We'll start with a modified dancer's pose. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Kick your right leg up and pull your knees together. Bring your hip bones square. Whichever leg is standing, so in this case your left leg, bend it a little bit to protect your knee joint. Keep your heel in toward your seat and then just begin to kick your foot into your hand. Keep your heel towards your seat. Lean your torso forward. So we're stretching your quadricep. It already worked pretty hard in that crescent pose. Use the inhale to come back to standing. Lift your knee in towards your torso. Intertwine your fingers around your shin. Pull it up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And release. Switch sides. Kick your left leg up. Grab the top of your foot. Glue your knees together. Find some stability in your standing leg. It's a little different than a normal standing bow pose. Really want to open up the quadriceps. Kick your heel in towards your seat. Begin to lean forward. More depth doesn't mean better. We just want to feel something in this lifted quadricep, the front of your thighs. Use the inhale to come back up to standing. Find a focal point, something that's not moving for balance. Pull your knee in towards your chest and release your fingers and pull it up. And release. Meet me standing with your hands in front of your chest. Next inhale, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to chest, lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, malasana, that deep squat. Walk your toes out, your heels in, lower your hips down. Let's give your shoulders a little bit of love. Take your left arm, flip it towards the ceiling and reach it underneath your shin bone. Press your knee and your tricep, the back of your shoulder, in towards one another. If you'd like a little bit more, use the inhale, float your right arm up over your head. Stretch your shoulders, bend your elbow behind your back. Bend your left arm, intertwine your fingers. Stay here a full cycle of breath, lifting the inside arches of your feet, creating space in your low back, your shoulders, your inner thighs, your hips. Release, changing sides. Take your right arm, reach it up under. So it's an active stretch, pressing your tricep and your knee in towards one another. Use the next inhale, take your left arm up. Half bind, take your hand behind your back. So some days that's plenty. If you like a full bind, bend your right arm, intertwine your fingers. Coming back to your malasana, meeting in a forward fold. See if you can notice a difference from the first forward fold. So hopefully the back of your leg's a little bit more spacious. Reach your fingertips behind your calves. Tuck your fingers underneath your heels this time. With your eyes open, look at your forearms. Swing your forearms behind your calves if you can. Begin to straighten your legs as much as possible. So oftentimes in challenging positions, our neck, our shoulders want to help. So that means if you are unable to soften your shoulders, your neck, maybe you bend your knees a little bit. Take one more full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands out from underneath your feet. Shake your head up and down. Shake your head left and right. Next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, tuck round and curl. Lift your heels up. Weight of your hips is on top of your heels. Let's take a sip of wine before we take it to the floor. This is actually my first time having this. We just released it and it's pretty amazing. All right. Meeting me in a seat, we'll take a seated figure four stretch. So lining your heels a little bit further forward than your knees. Reach your fingertips behind you with your fingertips facing away. Roll your shoulders back and down, press your heart up. You'd like more of a neck stretch. Before looking up, pull your head back in space so we create space between your vertebrae. Then let the back of your head rest on the top of your shoulders. Coming back upright. Adding in a hip stretch, cross your right ankle up and over your left. Flex this foot a lot. This prevents, we talked about lateral movement in your knees. So you want to keep your knees solid. Flexing this top foot. And if you'd like to do that same thing we did before, we'll just add another layer. Pull your head back in space. Let your head fall. Lift your gaze back up. Last one, we'll change sides. We spend so much of our life rounded forward, right, on our phones and our computers. So we're opening up the muscles in your chest, your biceps, your forearms, while we open up your feet, your hips. Flex your foot. Take the outside of your knee forward. And then one last time, pull your head back in space. Rest the back of your head and the top of your shoulders. And lifting your gaze back up. Unwrap your leg, grab the back of your hamstrings. Create a C shape in your spine to roll all the way down onto your back. Your next inhale, pull your right knee in toward your chest, intertwine your fingers, stretch your left leg long. If it feels good, pull your right knee over to the right towards the top of your shoulder, your armpit. Stretch your toes in opposite directions. Take a full breath in. Exhale, supine twist. Use your hand to guide your knee over. Stretch your opposite arm wide. So oftentimes we get here and the shoulder wants to lift up off the mat. Take both shoulders just as heavy on the mat as one another, even if that means you have to come out of the pose a little bit. Use your next inhale, pull your knee back to where it started. Exhale, switch. Opposite leg, pull it in. Pull your knee up towards your shoulder. Take a full breath in. Exhale, supine twist. Use your hand to guide your knee over. Stretch your opposite arm wide. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment. Notice if there's anywhere in your body where there's unnecessary musculature effort. So even a posture that's semi-resting, we can notice that muscles in our face might be engaged, shoulders. Sometimes it's a reaching leg. So invite some softness. Take one more cycle of breath. On your next inhale, come back to center. Pull your elbows in towards your ribs. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling so your palms face behind you. Stretch your legs tall. This posture is called legs up the wall. So traditionally you would literally be right up with your back on the floor, your hips and thighs up against the wall. It's known to be one of the most restorative postures. Take inventory of your neck before we move into a modified shoulder stand. If your neck has been talking to you today, you can benefit so much from staying in this legs up the wall because we think about all the days, the times that we're standing. So we're reversing that direction. Modified shoulder stand, use the muscles in your abdomen to press through your elbows, lift your hips and rest your hips right into your hands. Start to lower your shin bones toward your face. If your neck's feeling pretty good and you'd like to move on from here, walk your hands up your back. Press through the ball mounds of your feet like a Barbie foot. Flex your toes towards your shins, but press the ball mounds of your feet forward. If I was a true acrobat, then I could probably pick up that glass of wine with my toes and just pour it in, but I don't think I'm there. Coming back into modified shoulder stand if you're in the full version. This is bringing strength into your wrists. And eventually you'll lay your spine down like you lay down a strand of pearls, glass pearls maybe. So nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Take it all the way down. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Lift your eyebrows up towards your knees. Wrap your arms around your shins. Okay, so remember, the more we engage things, the more willing they are to relax. So take a full breath cycle, just pulling everything in. Teeny, teeny, tiny cannonball. Engage everything you can. Take a full breath in. Exhale, release. Recline flat on your mat, your floor, whatever you're on. Stretch your legs long. With your palms facing your ceiling, close your eyes. Literally just 4 cycles of breath together. On your own count, you'll count 4 to 6 seconds every inhale. Really powerful stuff for our nervous system. Take that same amount of time to exhale. Each cycle of breath, you're checking in. Is there an invitation to maybe take one more sip at the top? And then exhale that same amount of time. And starting to find some movement. Fingers your toes, roll them out. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Pull your knees in toward your chest. And then maybe you liked those rock and rolls earlier. We'll rock and roll together before we give a toast. Eventually meeting in a seat, cross-legged. So once you found your seat, grab your wine. Nice tall spine. Close your eyes. Just in honor of your willingness today to move your body, to breathe, to drink wine. Cheers. Thank you guys for joining. We're gonna post a new video live every Wednesday at 4. Any requests that you have, I have plenty of tricks up my sleeve to help you combat what we spend so much time doing, which is sitting and rounding forward. But anything you'd like to see, leave it in the comments section. Thank you for joining.